Hi, and welcome to Breath First Yoga. Today I will be putting us through about an hour Vinyasa flow class. We will start with a centering and then we will go into our asana practice and end with some beautiful Shavasana. You will need one block at least today. If you want to grab two, you can, but for sure one block. And grab a yoga mat or a towel, something on the floor. Make sure you can see and hear me for sure. And we will get started. Today, we are going to start with a beautiful poem. So get into your seated positions. You can have your hands on your knees. Your palms can be up or down. Close your eyes or find a focal point on the ground in front of you for your drishti, and just come to a relaxed seated position. Be the mountain. Bring your awareness to the sensations of your breath and the gentle rhythm it is creating within you, letting it be just as it is, each inhale and exhale announcing the next. Expand your awareness to the sensations of your body. Sitting upright with dignity, bring your attention to the surface beneath you and the support it provides. Root your body into its strength and become aware of your connection to it. Complete, whole, and in this moment, you are grounded by its unwavering resolve. As you sit there, visualize a grand mountain whose peaks pierce smoky clouds and continue upward where the air is clear and the view is endless. A mountain with slopes that are both jagged and gentle, supported by a vast foundation rooted deep in the bedrock of the earth. This mountain is a monument to all that is solid and grand, unmoving and beautiful. Perhaps your mountain has snow blanketing its top and trees reaching down to the base, or rugged granite sides. There may be streams or waterfalls cascading down the slopes. There may be one peak or a series of peaks, or meadows or high lakes. However it is, let it be as it is, a perfect creation. Grounded in your posture, your head becomes the skyward peak, supported by the rest of your form, granting you an awe-inspiring perspective of the landscape before you, behind you, and around you, which flows from your center into the distant horizon. Be the mountain, and take on its stability as your own, from the top of your crown, down your neck, and into the balance of your shoulders, like cliffs descending into your arms and forearms, and coming to rest in the valley of your hands. Be the mountain. Your feet, legs, and hips, its base, solid and rooted beneath you. A foundation extending up your spine and abdomen, a core of stability. The rhythm of your breath is all that moves you, a living mountain, alive and aware, yet unwavering in inner stillness, completely what you are, beyond words and thought, a centered, grounded, unmovable presence. A mountain which witnesses the sun travel across the sky, casting light and shadows and colors across. Moment by moment, in the mountain's stillness, the surface teems with life and activity. Snow melts, streams run down its face, trees and flowers bloom and die, and bloom again as the wildlife returns and departs for the seasons. Be the mountain, who will be called beautiful and inspiring, and dark and omnious, and knows that it is all of these things and less. Be the mountain, which sits and sees how night follows day and back again, which knows the sun by the warmth it brings on rising, and the stars by the way they show in the darkened sky. Through it all, the mountain sits, aware of the changes that each moment brings around it and to it, yet it remains itself. Still, as the seasons flow one into the other, and the air swirls from hot and cold, and the weather turns from tame to turbulent, some so treacherous as to tear at its surface. Still, none of this concerns the mountain, whose serenity is housed within and cannot be disturbed. In the same way, as you sit in meditation, you can learn to experience the mountain as a means to embody the same centered, unwavering stillness and groundedness in the face of all that changes in your life, over seconds, hours, and years. Like the mountain, you will experience the changing nature of your mind and body and the world around you. You will have periods varying in intensity of darkness and light, of activity and inactivity, and moments that fill your life with color. Through it all, be the mountain and call on its patient strength and stability within you. Let it empower you to encounter each moment with mindful composure and compassionate clarity. Go ahead and take one more inhale and exhale, and slowly open your eyes. Wonderful. If you're sitting on anything, you can move it out of your way. And we are going to make way onto our back. So go ahead and lay down long, having your legs long out in front of you and your head all the way at the bottom of your mat. And on an inhale, bring your knees both into your chest, pulling them in with your hands, letting your knees melt into your armpits. Just coming into a nice stretch. Take an exhale, open mouth. Inhale, lengthen your left leg long back out to the mat and pull your right knee in with both arms into your armpit. Take a deep inhale and exhale as you take your left hand and guide it across your body into your supine twist. Your right arm can reach long out from your shoulder and your gaze can go over your right hand. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, coming back to center. Give your right knee one more squeeze and then let your right leg long on the mat. Pull your left knee in, grabbing it, pulling it into your armpit. Take a deep inhale. And on your exhale, taking your right hand on your knee, guide it across your body to the right. Gaze coming out over your left shoulder, reaching your left arm long. Inhale, come back to center. Squeeze both your knees into your chest, give them a quick hug. And then plant your feet on the ground a couple inches in front of your sit bones. Your hands will go alongside your body, palms facing the earth. And on an inhale, start to lift your lower spine off the mat, slowly pressing up one vertebrae at a time. And hold. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale, lower down to the mat. Slowly vertebrae. On your next inhale, start lifting your hips up and reach your right arm up to the sky and then overhead as you inhale. Exhale, bring your right arm back down as you lower your hips back to the mat. On your next next inhale, lift your left arm up to the sky as you lift your hips. Exhale, lower your left arm back down to the mat as you lower your hips. Inhale, both arms lift and come overhead as you lift your hips. Exhale, both arms come back down as you lower your hips. Do that one more time. So your right arm, left arm, and then both arms. Inhale. Exhale, lower that right arm. Inhale, the left arm grounding through your heels. Lower your left arm. Inhale, rolling up one vertebrae at a time as both your arms reach overhead. Exhale, coming down, both arms on the ground. Now inhale both of your feet off the mat, letting your legs make a 90-degree bend. So your knees are over your hips and your feet are 90 degrees from your thighs. And on an inhale, bring your arms both overhead so that your palms are facing each other and your hands are pointing to the ceiling. On an inhale, lengthen your right arm alongside your head so your biceps by your ear, and lengthen your left leg so it's pushing at the front of the wall in front of you, hovering over the mat. And hold. And exhale, come back to neutral. Inhale the left arm alongside your ear and your right leg straight, hovering over the mat. And come back to neutral. We'll do that a few more times. Inhale, right arm long, left arm lengthen. And you can come back to neutral. You can flex your feet or point them. It's really up to you. I like to flex my feet. Inhale, left arm long, right leg lengthens. And come back to neutral. Beautiful. Go ahead and grab your knees, give yourself one more hug and roll onto your right side. And we'll push yourself up and come into a tabletop. So you can face the top of your mat, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, tops of your feet on the mat. And on an inhale, you're gonna look up, drop your belly, open your chest. Exhale, round your spine, chin to chest, into our cat. Inhale, drop your belly, look up, open your chest. Exhale, round your spine, chin to chest. Take a few more cat and cows. Keep moving through your breath. And go ahead and you can move your hips side to side, whatever feels good in your body, just to start getting your hips and the sides of your body warmed up. And come back to your neutral spine. So back straight, again, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. And on an inhale, we're going to extend our right arm long in front of us and our left leg straight back, hovering over the mat like you're stepping on the back wall, and hold. Great job, keep holding. Go ahead and set your hand and knee back down on the ground. Inhale your left arm long and your right leg extends back behind you, and hold. interlace your hand back down to the mat. Plant your hands firmly, pushing through the palm of your hand, curl your toes under, and lift your hips up and back into our first downward dog. Go ahead and pedal out your feet, bending your knees as much as you need. You can widen your feet a little bit if you'd like, if your hamstrings are feeling tight. And your heels do not need to touch the mat. Just having your feet come down as much as comfortable for you. Inhale your right foot up and back behind you. Exhale, stepping your right toe behind your right thumb and pivoting your left foot down to the mat at a 45-degree angle as you rise, bringing your arms out and up overhead into our Warrior One. In our Warrior One, our feet are on railroad tracks, not a balance beam. They can be heel to heel or wider alignment. And sink in over that front knee, focusing on getting our hips to face the front of the room. And inhale. Exhale, drop your hands behind you, interlace your fingers, and take an inhale, look up to the sky, open your chest. Exhale, fold forward, bringing your right shoulder inside your right knee, and letting your hands come up and over your head. Exhaling into that back foot where it meets the mat, engaging those quadriceps of the back leg and really pressing through the outer edge of your foot. Inhale, rise your body up to stand, clasp your hands, and go ahead and slide your feet into a heel to arch alignment. So your front heel should be intersecting the back arch of your back foot. And sink down over that front knee, arms coming out over your legs, hips are facing the side wall, and our gaze is over our front hand into Warrior Two. Breathe, inhale. Exhale, sink in. Inhale, reach forward as far as you can with your right hand, and then drop your right elbow to your right knee while you bring your left arm up, reaching for the sky. Really focus on opening your side body. You shouldn't be all bent down and collapsed. You want to elongate through your side body, planting in through your feet and engaging your legs into our extended side angle. Inhale, straighten your front legs. Tick-tock your arms so your left arm is laying on top of your left leg. Your right arm is reaching for the sky. Palm to face the back of the room. Inhale, lengthen, and we're in our reverse triangle. Frame your front foot, pivoting up on your back and stepping your right foot back into a high plank. So your shoulders are over your wrists and your pelvis is tucked under. If you need to drop to your knees, you can always do that. That's a wonderful modification if it's hard on your wrists or on your core. Otherwise, go ahead and stay in your high plank. Take a nice inhale and exhale. Lift your hips up and back into your downward facing dog. Walk your feet out. Inhale your left foot up and back behind you. Then exhale, bringing your left toe behind your left thumb, pivoting your right foot down at a 45-degree angle, and bringing your arms out and up overhead into our Warrior One on our left side. Again, hips are square to the front of the room. Really engaging and pressing down through the outer edge of that back foot. Take a nice inhale, lengthen, exhale, hands come down behind your back,
interlace your fingers. Maybe your other finger, you interlace the other way. So your thumb is on top if it was on the bottom. Inhale, look up, open your chest. Exhale, fold forward, bringing your left shoulder inside your left knee into humble warrior. Inhale, come to rise. Let your hands unclasp, bring them out over your legs. Slide your heels into that heel arch alignment, sinking into your left leg, gaze over that front hand, and your hips are open to the side in our warrior two. Inhale, straighten your front leg. Tick-tock your arms down and back, lifting your left arm up to the sky, reverse triangle. Exhale, your hands come down around your front foot, stepping your left foot back to meet your right into our high plank. Take a nice inhale. Engage your core. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. Gaze out in between your hands. Come up to your toes, bend your knees, and hop or step to the front of your mat. We'll hang over our feet a little bit, opening up our side bodies. You can grab opposite elbow. Just swing, release that back body a little bit. And on an inhale, roll yourself up one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders come to ears, roll them back and down. Come to Tadasana. So hands facing the front of the room along your side. Inhale, bring your hands up and overhead, palms facing each other, and sink down as you bend your knees as you're sitting back into a chair, into our chair pose. Try not to arch your lower back. Really engage your pelvis and tuck it under. Your weight should be in your heels, almost where you can lift your toes. Pose. Ground down through your left foot, bringing your right ankle over your left knee, and sit down. So this is our standing pigeon. You can stay right here, or you can bring your forearms to lay on top of your right leg, or you can bring your hands to the ground and really open up your hips. Wrapping your toes around that left outer tricep. And breathe. With your hands around the mat, bring them back to prayer, coming up. And then take that right leg and step it all the way back into a high lunge. We'll pivot our feet to the side wall, our toes to face the corner edge of our mat, and our heels are in. Hands come to heart center. Inhale, exhale, and sit down. So we're in our goddess pose. Our heels, again, are taking our weight. We shouldn't have our butt out. Act like you're putting your back along a wall. You're straight down. Take a nice inhale. And exhale. Inhale, lift your right heel off the mat. Grounding through your toes. Exhale, let it come back to the mat. Inhale your left heel off the mat. Exhale, let it come back to the mat. Inhale your right heel lifts. Exhale, bring it back down to the mat. Inhale, your left heel lifts. Exhale, lower it to the mat. Inhale, straighten your legs, bring your arms up and overhead. Pivot your heels so your feet are at a parallel angle. So they're parallel with the edges of the mat, the short sides of the mat. Toes are facing the side wall. Bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold forward, letting your hands come below your head. If you cannot touch the mat, you can grab blocks and put them underneath. And take a nice inhale, look out in front of you, lengthen your back, and then exhale and walk your hands back in line with your feet into our wide leg forward fold. And you really want to focus on having your weight in the ball of your foot. So don't let yourself fall back, but put it in that ball of your foot and engage your legs. This is a leg pose. So you don't want to be pulling down with your back or your shoulders. They should really be relaxing like angel wings, but use your core and your legs to bend you forward. Inhale, go ahead and walk your hands under your head, taking that half lift. Exhale, hands come to your waist. Inhale, rise back up to standing still. Take your left legs, point them to the front of your mat. You'll step your right feet in a little bit. If you want to grab a block, you can do that. And you can hold it in your left hand. You're going to lower that block to the ground or balance on that left foot and bring your right hand up to the sky and your right leg back like you're trying to reach the back wall. Your hips should be open to the side wall. If you can do it without your block, go ahead and balance without your block. Nice inhale. Deep exhale, bring your right foot down to meet your left, and we'll come to stand at the top of our mat. Hands to heart center, take a big inhale, open mouth exhale. Inhale, arms out and up overhead as you sink down into your chair pose. Feet can touch or they can be hips width distance apart. Again, your weight should be in the heels. Inhale, hands to heart center. Ground down through your right foot, bringing your left ankle over your right knee and sitting down into that standing pigeon. Hands again can come down to lay your arms on your calf of your left leg or bring them all the way to the ground if that is in your practice and you have that hip mobility. Inhale, hands come back to prayer. Left foot comes off and steps way back behind as we pivot our heels in and our toes out at that 45 degree angle to the top of our mat, the corner of our mat. Hands to heart center. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, sit down into our goddess pose. If you need to slide your feet in a little bit, that's fine. Your knees should be over your ankles. Again, no booty popping. We want our back flat, booty under us. And inhale, lift up to your toes. Exhale, lower both your heels. Inhale, lift both heels. Working on balance. Exhale, lower both heels. Inhale, lift both heels. Exhale, lower both heels. Inhale, straighten your legs. Hands come behind your back. Interlace your hands so you've got your fingers interlaced. Feet shift so they are parallel to the sides of your mat. Your ankle and toes should be in one line. Take an inhale, open your chest, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold. Bringing your hands over your head as much as possible. If this is not comfortable for your shoulders, you can always bring your hands back down to the ground like we just did, or even grab your big toes in front of you. Otherwise, go ahead and interlace your fingers, having them overhead. Again, using your legs and your core to fold forward. Inhale, come up to rise. Unclasping your hands, turning your right foot to the front of the mat, sliding that left foot in. If you want to grab that block in your right hand, you can, while we go into our half moon. So we're going to kind of step up on our right leg, getting our balance, planting that block on the ground, opening our hips to the side wall, hand comes up. If you can look out straight ahead or up to the ceiling, go for it. Finding one place to stare out really helps with your balance. Flexing that foot, that straight back, trying to step on that back wall. And inhale, go ahead and bring your left foot to meet your right, and we'll move the block out of the way. Take an inhale, widen your feet. So your toes are gonna be outside your mat, your heels are gonna be in, like this. And we're gonna take our hands at heart center. Inhale, raise up, exhale, Yogi Squat. So your heels can stay on the mat. If they can't, you can raise them. You can always take a block and put it under your glutes. So you can sit like that. A lot of times it helps to widen your feet, and you can squat down. You want to try and keep your shoulders up. So let's everyone meet in our Malasana, our Yogi Squat. And then go ahead and let go of your hands and grab your ankles. So each right hand on right ankle, left hand on left ankle. And on an inhale, straighten your legs while you're holding your ankles. Your knees don't have to go all the way straight. And then exhale and squat back down. Inhale, straighten your legs, just doing some dynamic movement to open our hips. Exhale, squat back down. Inhale, straighten your legs. Exhale, squat back down. And now we're gonna try a birds of paradise. So it's an arm wrap from this position, and then we will stand. So we're gonna take our right arm and wrap it under our right leg. You can stand up a little bit, and then take your left arm and reach it around your back and grab that right arm. If you can't do this, feel free to stay in the Yogi Squat. After you have your bind around your right leg, put all of your weight into your left leg. And you're going to try and stand up. So you can keep your knee bent and hanging over your arm, or you can try and straighten it and balance, which I'm still working at. So go ahead and play around with that a little bit on the right side. Again, right arm under the right leg, left hand around the back, interlace, plant through that left foot, and then go ahead and stand up on that left leg and straighten the leg if you can, the right leg. And set it down. We'll get back and try the left side. So meet me in your Yogi Squat if you're not there. This time we'll take our left arm, wrap it under our left leg, right arm over our back, meets our left hand. So we have the bind around our left leg. Get that right foot ground down, planted, and then put all your weight and start trying to stand up on that right leg. there's our fun balancing posture for today. All right. We are going to go ahead and come down to our knees, plant our hands on the ground, curl our toes under, and come into a plank pose. Take an inhale, and then take your right foot and bring it outside your right hand. You're gonna come down and drop your back knee, so your left knee will come to the ground. You can uncurl your toes so the foot is on the top of the mat. We're gonna go into lizard. So if you have blocks and you want them, you can place them under your arms, and this can be your lizard. Your shoulder is right inside your knee, and you should be trying to keep that right knee hugged into your body. If this is too easy on your forearms, feel free to move your blocks and come down all the way into lizard. And just inhale and take some inhales and exhales. If you want, you can walk your hands to the left and stay up on your hands, letting your knee kind of open, or coming back down to your forearms to get a little bit deeper stretch in that right hip flexor. Go ahead and walk your hands back. Plant that left hand, and you're going to take your right arm and bend your left leg up. If you need to lean back a little to grab your foot, you can. And then just come forward and open your chest and your shoulder up to the back right side of the room. This is wonderful deep quad stretch. You can pull that foot into your butt. Exhale and release. Plant your right hand, step your right leg back into a plank pose. Take an inhale, gauge your core. Exhale, step that left foot outside your left hand. If it takes you a few steps to get it there, that's fine. Drop your right knee to the ground, uncurl your right toes, and again, take whatever you did on the other side. If you want the blocks, go ahead and start with the blocks. If you don't need them, you can come right to your hands or your forearms. If you want to walk your arms over to the right more and drop to your forearms, go ahead. Getting a little bit more of a deeper stretch. Inhale, come up to your hands, walking back to center, and plant that right hand on the mat under your right shoulder, lifting your left leg up, reaching back with your left hand to grab it. Sorry, lifting your right leg up, reaching back with your left hand to grab it, and pulling that right foot in, getting that quad stretch on the right side. Drop your foot and go ahead and step back onto your knees and grab your blocks. We'll need one of them. And we're gonna come to our back. So go ahead and bring your block with you as we come to our back. And bring your feet down right below your hips, plant it on the ground. Take your block, put it between your thighs or your knees. Arms alongside your body, palms to face the mat. And on an inhale, start lifting your hips high, pushing through your heels, holding it up into our bridge pose. And squeeze that block. Take another inhale, squeeze. Exhale, lower back down to the mat. This time, we're going to inhale and lift our right arm up and over our head as we lift our hips. So, Take an inhale, coming back up into your bridge, squeezing that block as you bring your right arm up and overhead. Exhale, bring that right arm back down, but keep your hips up. Inhale, left arm up and overhead. Keeping those hips up, squeezing that block. Exhale, left arm comes back down. Keep those hips up. Inhale, both arms up and overhead, keeping those hips up. Exhale, lower everything back down to the mat. Wonderful. Go ahead and grab that block between your knees and lift your hips up, putting the block on the long, flat way down, right under your sacrum, so that bone kind of in between your butt on your low back. And you're gonna walk your heels out so your legs are long, and you should start to feel an opening in your hip flexors. If this is really comfortable for you, you can always plant your feet and rotate that block to the higher mark so that it's sideways like this. And put your sacrum right on there. Again, walk your heels out so your legs are long. Inhale, bring your right knee in and grab it with your arms. And as you do this, leave that left leg long, and you should really feel that left hip flexor opening up as you pull your right knee in. Exhale, go ahead and let your right knee go back down long, and then pull your left knee in, squeezing it in, feeling that opening through the right hip flexor. Exhale. Go ahead and plant your feet so that you can lift yourself up and pull that block out from under you. If you want to put it overhead, you can, so it's out of our way. Take your right knee and bring it across your left. So your knees are stacked. It's like you have your legs crossed. So your right knee is on top. You're going to scoot yourself to the right, just your hips a little bit, and then let your knees fall to the left. So that your knees are making or your legs, your lower legs and knees are making a bind. You can bring your arms out to a T and gaze out over that right hand. It's just a little bit more intense of our supine twist. Inhale, bring your knees back up. Get your hips under you and switch your legs. So your left knee should be over your right. Slide your hips to the left a little, and then let your knees drop to the right, letting your legs twist over each other if that feels good, having that deeper stretch. Again, gaze goes out over your left arm. Inhale, bring your knees back up. You can unwrap them. Bring your knees in so that your knees are coming into your armpits. Give yourself a little squeeze. And then go ahead and bring your hands inside your knees, in between your knees, and take your hands and grab the outside of your feet or your ankles or your big toe, whatever feels good. And then push your feet like you're gonna plant them on the ceiling, and you can rock back and forth. We're in our happy baby. You wanna focus on trying to keep your lower back on the mat. And hopefully you're pretty stretched out by now. If you wanna straighten your right leg or your left leg or both legs, you can go ahead and do that. And then let go of your feet. Give yourself one more big squeeze. Bring your forehead to your knees. And then let your legs go long and your arms come out by your sides. And we'll take our Savasana. Thanking yourself for showing up today, allowing yourself to be here and take care of your body and your mind. And just thanking your body for what it did and letting it settle into the ground now as we rest for a few minutes. Start to wiggle your feet and move your hands. Open and close your jaw. Slowly turning your head from one side to the other. And roll onto one side of your body. And then slowly push yourself back up to seated. Go ahead and come to seated, bringing your hands to your heart center. You can close your eyes. Thank you for joining me today. Exhale and gently fold forward, releasing anything that no longer serves you. And inhale, coming back up to sitting, bringing anything else you would like for this week with you. Namaste. Thanks for joining me. Go ahead and check out any other classes if you would like to try some more.